everything went well and all that good stuff. And we're into a new year. And so therefore, we're going to talk about, just to set the year off correctly, before we do anything else, talk about indicators and all this other stuff, we want to set some goals for ourselves for 2021 and Forex trading, okay? However, I need you to grab a pen and piece of paper, because the type of goals that I'm going to give you are not your typical goals that you're going to hear anywhere else, okay? Some may be a few that you hear somewhere else, but I promise you the ones that I'm going to give you are going to be thought-provoking ones that's really going to help you with your Forex career, okay? So please grab a pen and a piece of paper, something to take notes with. I promise you this is going to bless you, okay? While you're grabbing that, let me read two testimonies that I received recently. We get a lot of testimonies, but these really touch my heart. I'm not going to use their names because they're in our group, but if you hear this, you know, you're tuning into this, you know that I'm reading your message. So I do read messages, okay? I do read them. My staff sends them to me. So let me read this one. This person says, "Hello, Uncle P. My name is so-and-so. I'm 34 years old and I joined your platform last night. For about 2 to 3 months, I've looked at every YouTube video you've made twice. That was really impressive. That really touched my heart. I just wanted to let you know how much of a blessing you are to my wife and I at this critical time in our lives. We were both laid off from our jobs on the exact same day during this pandemic. We were blessed to have joined the IML Academy with some family members, and it introduced me to a skill set that can open plenty of doors for us. We left IML Academy with nothing bad to say about the platform, which I respect that. And I'm just reading this testimony while you guys are getting your pen and paper for your notes for today, okay? So if you just joined, please get your notes, a pen, piece of paper, grab something, text, tweet, get somebody on who you know as your trading partner, so that as I'm going through these new Forex goals for 2021, which is going to be critical for your success, I want you to get them together, get that together, and I'm just reading a couple of testimonies while you do that, and then we'll start shortly, okay? So please do that for me while you're listening. And I respect this person. They said they had nothing bad to say about IML, all right? And I respect when people are not trying to put down others. It was time that we would almost become evicted, but we still gave with unemployment through PayPal to some homeless organizations, because this is just one of the things you taught me that I was seeking for. From your numerous talks about family, no negativity in your group, mentality, patience, etc., and the list goes on, it answered my prayer. I also start my new job next week. Everything works in God's timing. Thank you, Uncle P. I thought that was such a blessing. Okay, let me read one more quick one and we'll get started with today's goals, okay? This one says, and I'm not going to read this person's names, it says, I just want to send you my prayers for your family. I just lost my sister, by the way, so we're still grieving over that. I hope you and your wife are doing okay. My prayers are with you. I also wanted to reiterate how much I appreciate your heartfelt, honest mentoring on this Forex platform. Thank you for your hard work and patience. May God bless you in every way. And when he talked about the Forex platform, he's one of our students in the class, because I do provide classes every single week. And so he's one of the people who's in there. So he knows how we get down. He knows my sincerity. So I really appreciate that testimony, and I appreciate your prayers. All right. Now, with that being said, I want to have you guys jot down some notes, because this is going to be so important for your Forex trading career this year. Okay. Too many people are trying to trade Forex, but they have no real goals. And so they're randomly buying indicators. They're randomly buying trading systems. They're just randomly doing things, but there's no rhyme and rhythm to it. And when you get all these different things, even if you had the best trading system in the world, you're screwing that up too. So I'm going to help you with some particular goals that you normally won't hear from other mentors. And it's goals that I think that every Forex trader, including myself, need to heed and pay attention to on this year. As I'm going through these goals, you're going to possibly hear some things that you never thought about that is tripping you up in your Forex journey. Because oftentimes we just think everything is about, look, charts and indicators. And so, say I got mine right here. But oftentimes there's more to it than that. Because in Forex, it's all about your psychology. At the end of the day, when you're trading on these charts, it is nothing but you and these charts. And the charts are going to tell you whatever they're going to tell you for you to interpret. Are you understanding what I'm saying? It's no different than if you're driving on the freeway. You can have 100 people on the freeway at the same time. But if one person has just had an argument with their spouse and they thinking crazy, that person can run and do some crazy things on the freeway and cause an accident that will hurt a lot of people. Why? Because of their mentality. The road didn't change. The cars are not different. It's the person who's driving that car. And if their mentality isn't correct, they can cause a lot of damage. And that is what's going on in the Forex market. You have a lot of people who are crashing and burning their accounts, which is causing crashes and burns in their family because they're using money that they should have been paying the bills with. They're using it on Forex and da, da, da. I can't tell you the number of different mistakes people are making that they shouldn't be making because they're making mental mistakes. Are you understand what I'm saying so far? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over these 6 goals. There are going to be 6 of them. And again, please have your friends, whoever you trade with, trading partners, have them join. Have them listen to this. Again, I'm not requesting you join us. I'm not trying to recruit, but I'm trying to help you with your Forex career, especially during this new year. All right, so here we go. Number 1, I will stop over leveraging my account. That's number 1. Now, some of these first ones are going to be very basic ones. You heard it all the time, but are you really heeding it? Are you really doing it? Tell the truth. Are you really heeding to that rule of not over leveraging your account? I was listening last night. I like listening to other people's YouTube videos for content, just not to even borrow from them, but I just like to be, even though I'm a teacher of Forex, and a certified life coach, I still am a student, in my opinion. And so I was watching this gentleman's video, and he's a successful Forex trader as well. And then I watched others who are successful Forex traders as well. There's one thing they all have in common. All. Even in the stock market and trading options, same thing. What they have in common is the percentage numbers of which they're willing to risk per trade. Now, I won't tell you what theirs is because yours can be adjusted to whatever you feel comfortable with. But I do know that all of them have that in common. And why is that important? Because most Forex traders are looking for the holy grail of trading. In other words, to never lose a trade. Never. But that's not possible in this game. It's part of the game. It's no different than if you played basketball or baseball or football. If you play basketball, even with LeBron James being the best basketball player in the world right now, undisputed, he still missed shots, but he's still great. Because when you look at his winning percentages, it's because he's not afraid to miss a shot that he is good at what he does. But he knows he's going to miss some shots. That's why he's in the gym practicing. If you're playing football, today is Sunday, and the ball is thrown to you, you could be the best football player, receiver in the world, but you're going to miss some passes. Ask Jerry Rice. Torrey Hunter, the baseball player, I told you he's a friend of mine. Well, he's retired now. Point is that when he was playing, guess what? As good as he was, voted Golden Gloves and all these different things, he still missed some swings. So understand in Forex, you're going to miss some trades. Some trades you're just going to lose them. It has nothing to do with you. If this last year didn't teach you that, you are missing out. Some trades are going to be because of political situations that had nothing to do with Forex at all. The market just had a knee-jerk reaction and you were actually in that trade at that time and you simply lost a trade. Or there was some economic news announcement that you were unaware of that wasn't even on a schedule. It is the nature of the job to lose trades here or there. Nothing wrong with that. But with that being said, look at how professional Forex traders handle it. How they handle it is by risking a low percentage of their overall account so that when they do lose a trade, it won't impact them. Some of you guys, your problem is you're risking so much on every trade until it better be a winner or else. And that's the consequence of your negligence with managing your money, because you're trying to be a one-hitter quitter. And no wonder your accounts can't even last an entire week. I know I'm stepping on toes, but it's the truth. So we have to set goal number one to make sure that you're leveraging an amount. And I'm going to give you simple parameters. Let's just say you have a $100 account. Because I'm going to start with $100. Just say you have $100 in your account. And so you risk 1% of that. That's $1. Okay. So let's say if you did, I say 10 out of 10. Okay. That means you can lose $10. Let's just say you risk $10 per trade. Okay. You got a $100 account. You risk $10 per trade. What if you lose the first $10 on the trade? That's only 10%. That's a high number. Most Forex traders who are professional, they deal with high number accounts. We don't trade that much. We don't have that much. But if you do, let's just say you risk 10% of your account. That still leaves you with $90 in your account. So that gives you, as I call it, 10 chances to win. So write that down. It gives you 10 chances to win. Even with a small $100 account, it gives you 10 chances to win. Therefore, there's no reason that you should be talking about you blew your account in the first few days, because you got 10 chances to win. You lose $10, you still got 90 to keep rolling with. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Let's go to the next goal. I will stop over trading each week. Some of you guys, let's go back to that $100 account, $10 per trade. You'll chew up that in one day. Why? Because you're trading too much. You're in 10 and 20 trades a day. Well, I'm trying to be a scalper, but they're scalping you. One of the things about professional traders, they don't take a whole lot of trades. They're not in trades a whole lot. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Type a number 1 in the box if you guys are getting what I'm saying. I want to make sure you guys are understanding what I'm saying. These are the basics. Wait till I really start stepping on your toes. This is just the basics. I ain't even got to the good stuff yet. But even these basics, that's the problem. It's so basic until you're not doing it. And every week, at the end of the week, you're looking at, well, what mistakes did I make on the charts? Start with the mistakes you're making in your head. Are you over leveraging? Are you trading too much per day? One of the best ways to track that is to have a trading journal. Super easy Forex family, if you're tuning in, you already know we provide that for you in the tutorial program, in the printouts, in the manual. You have the manual. We provide you with chart patterns. So it's right there. No extra cost. It's just in there. Print it out. It's in the tutorials. You print out the manual, you print it, and we have video tutorials plus a printed manual. So once you print out the printed manual, then you print out the Forex trading patterns so you can know what these patterns are when you see them on the charts. We provide that for you. We provide you with a news event calendar of events to pay attention to. And then we also do what? Provide you with a trading journal so that you can track your trades. And one of the first ahas you're going to get is you're going to see mistakes that it's just going to be so blatantly obvious. And one of the big ones for so many people is the fact that you are over trading. You're in too many trades a day. Do you know what professional traders do when they lose trades? Thank you, Derek. Derek said it's worth it, everyone. Thank you, Derek. Because he's in my group. See, he knows. He knows. One of the things that Forex traders do, or professional traders, period, do, especially if you ever work for an investment company and you're managing people's money in the markets, whether in the stock, options, Forex, whatever, and you work for a major hedge fund company or something like that, do you know they have a shut-off switch? They will cut you off. They're monitoring that loss. They know losses are going to come for their clients. But the thing is that they're going to cut you off so that you can't keep trading all day long on their clients' accounts, just blowing it up. The problem is that you don't have those parameters in place or somebody looking over your shoulder when you're trading. It's just you and these charts. And so therefore, there's no accountability for the actions of what you're doing. Type amen if you know I'm right. Type amen. There's no accountability. And because there's no accountability, there's no track record of your performance. It's just either you made money or you have an empty account every single week. That's the problem, people. So to hold yourself accountable, trading journal. If you join us, we'll give it one. If not, you can create one. It doesn't matter. But that's going to help you to see visually for yourself your, what I call, watch this, write this down, market addiction. Write that term down. I made it up. Why? I made it up not for other people. I made it up for myself. Because when I was going up the ranks, I realized that was my problem. I was addicted to the charts. And the more I was losing, the more I was on them. That's why if you ever tune into professional traders, you'll notice that they have a whole real cool kind of attractive lifestyle. And what's so cool about the lifestyle is because you see, okay, they do trade, but majority of the time, their lifestyle, they're doing other things. Opening up other businesses, this and that and this. Why? Because when you finally get it, you realize how much time you've burnt out on the charts when it wasn't even necessary. I was trading, making money, then losing money. Trading, making money, then losing money. Why? Because when I made the money, then I was stupid enough to get back on the charts and the market took it right back. It's no different from the casino. I promise you, I've been telling people for years, the stock market, Forex, all of this, it is the biggest casino in the world. Forget Las Vegas. It has nothing on these markets. They are the biggest casinos in the world. And if you stay too long, what happens? The house always wins. So you're giving back your winnings. Even when you win a trade, because you just won, now you're addicted thinking, well, let me get some more. See, your greed is driving you to trade too much. And at the end of the day, you're emotionally and mentally worn out at the end of the week, if you even lasted that long. And at the end of the day, you have nothing to show for it. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You have nothing to show for it. And for some of you guys, here's all you got at the end of every week. And it's been like that for the longest. That's why I'm getting in your behind today. You've been trading for the longest and getting the same routine results. You're over trading, over leveraging, get frustrated at the end of the week. You have nothing to show for it except for frustration and no money. Type a number 5 in the box if you know I'm telling the truth. Come on, ain't no shame in telling the truth. Like the Bible says, the truth will do what? Set you free. Tell the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So I made up that term for me. And then I started realizing as I became a teacher of this stuff that everybody typically starts in the same direction. Overdoing it. Market addiction. You're addicted to the markets. So before you call somebody, oh, you a drug addict, oh, you a gambling addict, you a this and that, before you point fingers, the truth is, do you have an addiction yourself as a Forex trader? Are you always on them charts? Night and day. I never forget. And I'm just warming up. I got a whole lot more. I'm gonna cut it short because I don't want this to be too long of a video. But I'm trying to help you by slapping you with truth. I will never forget, I will be on dates with my wife. And we're in the freaking movie theater in the dark, supposed to be watching the movies. And here I am with my little bright light in the corner, watching my phone, staring at these charts. Come on now, you know that's too much. And I'll never forget, I went and took my wife to Olive Garden. We were dating at the time. Actually, no, we were married. We were at Olive Garden. And I remember looking at this Indian gentleman, and he had brought his family to Olive Garden to eat lunch. And he had his wife and kids there. But guess what else he brought to the table, guys? He brought his little miniature laptop, and I saw that he had his charts on. So instead of him sitting there spending time with his family, enjoying the meal, he brought them something to eat, but he was still on his charts. And before you criticize him, are you the same? Are you the same? Let's keep going. Number 3, and you're going to notice out of these 6 goals, the first 3 has to do with the charts. The next 3 is really going to have a, watch this. I'm going to get you. Number 3, I will invest in real education and not just YouTube videos only. Here's the point. I have zero problem with watching YouTube videos. You can learn a lot. But ask yourself a question. If you're trying to make this a full-time career, what full-time career person, such as a doctor, a lawyer, a roofer, or anybody who decided to make this a full-time career for their living, ever just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and said, okay, I'm going to do it. Now, there are exceptions, and you can say, well, I can think of this person, but is that you? Because that's the first thing people do. They want to pull out an exception. That's fine for that exception, but are you the exception? If you're not the exception, then stop trying to be the exception and be who you are. It's a good starting place, but it's not the finishing place. My brother-in-law, he's an ear, nose, and throat, an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Took him years in college to become a doctor. Now he's he's doing very well for himself. I love going down to Tennessee to go visit him because I love that big old gigantic house. They got a 3-story home and just living lavish. But in the beginning, he was struggling, working jobs, doing what he had to do while he was getting his education. Now, fortunately for us in Forex, it doesn't take that long. But typically, any degree or anything you're going to turn into a professional career, it takes time. And that's the problem. You want overnight success. You're not willing to get the education for it. You want the rewards without the work. So you constantly, and again, I'm on YouTube. Personally, myself, not doing videos, but I surf internet. I like looking at YouTube videos. I'm always a student of this game. So I'm always looking at other people's content, and not because I'm trying to steal anything. I'm a unique individual. I know what I teach. Ain't nobody teaching what I teach. So I'm not there to try to steal ideas. I'm there just as a student. Because we can all improve ourselves. But I do know that I also invest in education. I invest in reading books. I invest in reading. I invest in knowledge. But do you shortcut? Always trying to find, well, let me go on this website. I know they give free indicators. Or somebody stole this indicator, so let me get this one on my charts. And then you still blowing your account. Why? Because you can't steal something and become a full-time success at it. You can't be a criminal and turn around thinking you're going to live lavishly all your life without consequences. You can't shortcut all the time and expect to have a full-time reward. Life don't reward you like that. And the people who tried ended up in jail or they still broke. It was a short run. No longevity. So when are you going to stop shortcutting your success and actually invest a little bit of money into getting a proper education, getting a proper mentor? I'm here to mentor you. I'm not going to always give you everything on YouTube. This stuff, a lot of the good stuff is reserved for my students. Now, again, if you don't want to go with me, find somebody who's reputable, who you like, and pay them. I don't care. But you need to pay to get a proper education so you can learn what you need to know. I've always done that. I have zero problem with paying for what I need to know. But some of you guys, you're shortcutting yourself, and that's why you're struggling. Let's go to the next one. Number 4. I will spend, watch this. Now we're going to transition and watch how this really impacts you. I told you the first 3 was about your Forex. The next 3 is for you. Here we go. Number 4. Pay attention to this. I wish I had 1 million people on right now in the Forex arena. Watch this. I will spend quality time with my creator and family and reduce the amount of time I'm spending on these charts. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to spend more time in prayer, and this is my goal. I'm going to spend more time quietly in prayer and with my family than I am going to be on these charts. In other words, some of you guys, and you don't even realize what happened to you. You spend so much time on you wonder why your family don't support you sometimes? Y'all want to know? It's because you have divorced your family and your kids to the point where they feel like they're on the back burner and your first wife is in charts. Well, I got to get this money. No, you can have all the money in the world and lose your family. Then what was it for? Because if I ask you, what are you doing this for? Oh, I'm doing this for my family. Let me ask your family if they feel the same way. Or do they feel neglected because of what you're into now? Because of your market addiction? I told you ain't going to hear this nowhere else. That's why I don't have to worry about surfing the internet to get content. Nobody is me. I am me. And you are you. We're unique individuals, but you can't use your gift if you're trying to be like everybody else. And you're shortcutting things. And then you stepping over the ones who love you, your family, for your goals. No, they should be the head reason why you're doing it. And if your goal is stripping from them, then you're not doing it for them. Stop lying. Amen, Brother Patrick. I should have took an offering on this one. They need to put me in the church for this one because they go for all kinds of business people. But it's really bad for Forex traders. They're highly addicted to the charts and don't even see it. And their family is feeling neglected. God ain't heard a prayer from you since the day you came out the womb and you were screaming, wishing you can go back in the womb. That's the last time he heard from you. You don't have to love me or like me, but I'm going to love you enough to give you some truth. Because it's one thing to make a lot of money in Forex, but it's a different thing when you have nobody to spend it with. But I will tell you this, it's a pleasant thing. It's a very pleasant thing to make money in Forex, and you can live a lifestyle where you can go where you need to go and do what you want to do with the ones you love. When you feel like it. Because they're the priority, not the charts. The charts are just another vehicle for you to be able to get to do what you want to do. But some of you guys, you got it twisted. And you wonder why they're not supporting you. Stop arguing with them. You ain't support me. I wouldn't support you either. Why would I? You barely speak to us. You don't spend no time with us. You're always on your phone, always on them charts, always doing something else other than even saying hello. We don't eat no meals together. We don't do nothing together. It's just you and them charts. And then whenever you have a time to get to take your mind off of it, then you think about me briefly for about 5 minutes. And then you back on them charts. You at your job, got them charts on your job computer. Finna get fired because you know your boss creeping around the corner wondering what you sneaking and doing. Because every time he come around the corner, you jumpy. So they know you up to something. So you about to lose your job because you're always on them charts. You're about to lose everything because you're addicted to the markets. I'm telling you the truth because I love you. Let's go to the next one. I told you at the beginning of this video, I told you it's going to be different. But if we're going to have 2021 goals, you got to be willing to do something different than what you did last year, or else you can. 2021 people make such. Let me help you with something. Let me learn you something real quick, like my granddad used to say. Let me learn you something, boy. Let me sit down. Let me learn you something. Let me learn y'all something. You keep celebrating the new year as if it's going to make a difference. But the truth of the matter is, a new day and a new time on the clock never makes a difference. The world celebrates that. I don't. It's not that big of a deal. Here's the reason why. Because unless I'm willing to change myself, then a new day and a new year is not going to make a difference. Only you can make it be a new year. Any day you wake up, you can be a new year for you if you're willing to change your ways. Let's get to the last two and we're done. The next one. Oh my God, I wish I had a million traders on to hear this one, because here's something that y'all do, but you don't say it out loud. So you have this personal situation going on. Here it is. Hear me good. I will not speak negative to myself about myself. Oh my goodness, Jesus. That one did that. Oh, let me say that one again. It's going to slap him in the face. So I'm going to hit you twice with this one. I'm going to say it again. I will not speak negative to myself about myself. I can't get nothing right. I'm always losing at Forex. What's wrong with me, man? What? See, this is one of those internal struggles that you don't say to nobody. But some of y'all are dealing with depression over Forex. And you ain't told nobody. It's a secret that's killing you. And the reason why you're always on those charts is because the charts are killing you because you haven't changed your ways of doing it. You haven't invested in education to get it right. And so the more you keep losing in the market, the more you feel that you need to come back and hurry up and make that money back. And therefore you keep losing money, not making it back. So that keeps you on this perpetual cycle, like a hamster on the wheel, just always going around in circle, 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 circle. And meanwhile, it's destroying your own confidence in who you are and what you can do. So you're having these quiet mental conversations to yourself, saying, man, I can't win for nothing, man. Every time I place a trade, the market makers are taking my money. They know it. And man, I'm always losing. Man, why am I always failing? And they just start digging deeper and deeper into your own psychology of thinking. See, everybody wants to read this book. Watch this. I told you I'm going to hit you with truth. Everybody wants to read this book, Trading in the Zone and all these other things, but here's the zone you need to worry about. How are you talking to yourself? Now, every trade you lose, it becomes personal and you start talking stupid to yourself. I'm such a loser. You don't say that out your mouth because you don't want nobody to tell you. You don't tell nobody this, but you show telling yourself in secret. And that's why you're angry and quick-tempered. See, people see what's happening on the outside. They see that your behavior, your mentality, they know something's wrong. But because your trading career has been so secretive, your failures have been secretive, you haven't been getting the right training. So therefore, all of this stuff is going on in where? Your head. Because you're too ashamed to tell anybody about what's really going on. And now you're having these negative conversations with yourself. Forex is one of the most impersonal businesses there is. It's all about the money for the bankers, institutions, and anybody else involved. It has nothing to do with you. They can care less about you. But the problem is for you, it's personal. You making it about you. You're calling yourself a failure. And again, you ain't gonna say it out your mouth because you ain't gonna never tell nobody this. But I promise you, the ones closest to you see a change in your behavior. You used to be a happy person before you started trading. You used to enjoy life before you started trading. And now that you're trading and failing, you're depressed and you're angry. You're angry. You're angry at the charts. You're trying to find who's the scammer. You're just angry. But the truth of the matter is, you're really angry with yourself. But you're just trying to find somebody to point the anger at. So let's stop that today. There is nothing wrong with you, loved one. There is zero wrong with you. You have chosen a career that is highly manipulated to take people's money. It's just as simple as that. And if this is not for you, then I suggest you stop. It's not personal. They personally are taking your money. They are personally manipulating the market because that's the nature of the beast. Not everybody can handle that. So I want to bless you with a bit of personal love. If this is how you're feeling, I suggest you stop trading Forex for a little bit. Regain you. Relove on you. Because I'm telling you, you're trying to make this personal, and it's not personal at all. As a matter of fact, the Forex market is centered around people's emotions. So is the stock market, but mainly the Forex market because it moves so much faster than the stock market. It's centered around people's emotions. They're capitalizing off of your anger, and you're angry and say you're going to quit. How many times have you said that? I'm going to quit. And then you're back at it the next week. Now, you know, when you say that and you can't quit, you know you're stuck in a cycle of market addiction. It's not personal. They just know. But you're making it personal, and that's how they're capitalizing off of you. So it's time for you to stop having these negative self-talks. It's just the nature of the beast. Anticipate that you're going to lose some trades. Going back to number one, this is why you should never over leverage your account on any given trade that looks perfect. I don't care how perfect a trade looks. Never, ever, 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 ever over leverage on it, because it could turn around. News event can come out, manipulation can come out, whatever. Anything can happen to that trade. And it had nothing to do with your setup, nothing to do with you, nothing. This is just the nature of the beast. And it's not fit for everybody. Everybody's not cut off for Forex. I'm being honest. Because it is very emotionally taxing if you don't have a routine down. I'm telling you the truth. Let's go to this last one. And this is most important. If you understand what I'm saying, and you're able to overcome challenges, the thing you need to understand is this. Go back and teach your children. Some of you guys wonder how Super Easy Forex ever got started. Let me tell you how it got started. It actually got started because I got upset with my own kids. I'm telling you the history of Super Easy Forex. How it got started. I never planned on doing videos, never planned none of this stuff. I never planned it. Never did. It was never planned. I promise you that. I have been an entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s. And so what happened was my dad actually, God rest his soul, and I miss him too, because not only did I lose my sister last week, my sister-in-law, but it's still my sister. But also on December 31st, New Year's Eve, is my dad's birthday, my best friend, and he's gone. But I remember what my dad left in us. Watch what I'm saying, why you should go back and teach your kids, even your mistakes. Here's the truth. My dad taught all of us how to do real estate, but I was the only one who actually caught wind of it and fire and started doing it. Therefore, when I was in my early 20s, I was able to retire myself through real estate. That's how I did it. My dad came back and taught us about real estate. That's why I got involved. What are you going back and teaching your kids? Let's go back to your behavior with your market addiction, always on the charts, always stuck in that office and on your laptop or whatever. What are you teaching your kids by doing that? You teaching them to hustle, hustle, hustle at the expense of family members. See, what you don't say to them and what they see you modeling is more important than what you did say to them. You told them I love you and that you're important to me, but you model to them that making this money is more important. Hustling. Now, I will say there is a time where there's agreed upon that, hey, you may need to spend some time studying and doing what you got to do. I understand that. But they need to understand that too. But they need to know that there's going to be a time where you're going to disconnect from that and come and spend time with them so you can translate and teach them what you're learning. Many of you guys, you're trying to build all these careers, make all this money to leave for them, but you're not training them how to maintain what you're delivering. So by the time they get it, why do you think these little knucklehead kids nowadays, they get all your hard work and within 2 years, they splurged it all and burnt it out. And your 50 years of hard work just went down the drain because you put something in their pocket, not in their head. Amen. I'm going to say that again. You put something in their pocket, not in their head. So they never even came. Why didn't you just invite them up to come to the charts and sit on your lap while they're little kids? I got people in my group who does that. Their little kids come and sit on their daddy and mommy lap while they're trading so they can learn. And so the kids think it's just a freaking video game. I'll never forget, my own son told me that. He said, Dad, you know what? He taught me something about not taking it so serious. He said, Dad, I just treat it like a video game. That's why I win. And he was winning. Because to him, it was nothing more than a game. But see, he wouldn't have got that if I wouldn't have shown him what I was doing. So he never felt neglected. He felt a part of what I was doing. And I invited all my children. Some are wanted to, some don't. And that's okay. You can't force people. I don't force my kids to be investing into what I'm into. Some will get it, some won't. I told you I got 4 brothers and 4 sisters, 9 of us. I was the only one who did the real estate. My dad taught all 9 of us, but I was the only one. And that's okay. It's no problem with that. But what you're demonstrating to them, one of the reasons why some of your kids ain't going to want to do nothing you do is because they see what you're modeling. Your angry behavior. Your sneaky behavior. Your frustration on the charts. And then you telling them you need to be doing this. There ain't no way you're going to convince them of that. And then you don't spend no time with them. And you keep telling them, oh, yeah, no. You don't talk to your kids until you clean up your behavior. Get the first 5. And if you're late to listening to this, listen to the first 5 goals. And then when you get those cleaned up, then you bring them in. Don't introduce them to your chaos and confusion. Now, it's okay to bring them in on your journey, but don't bring them into your chaos. Clean you up first. Let's get you together. Now, one of the first ways, number one, the first way to do it is to stop over freaking leveraging your account. And number 2, stop over trading. Those 2 things alone is going to help many of you guys with your trading career this year, because that's where your hang up was. What happens is, let me tell you why I'm saying that, and we'll be done. Let me tell you why that's important. Because some of you guys, let's just say you started with that $100 account again. Okay, just hear me out. You start with the $100 account. 2 things instantly will be a blessing to you just by listening to the first 2 things I told you. Number 1, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have money in the account at the end of the week. For some of you guys, that's going to be a first. Because you blow your whole account before it's Tuesday even this year. Come on now, you know I'm telling the truth. You see a good setup that you think is a good setup, and then you place that trade with 50% on that trade, and the account is gone. Because you got hustled by the market makers entering trades at the wrong what? Those who's in my group, you should know, at the wrong time. You don't know timing. Nobody ever taught you timing in the market. So you entered the trade during the sucker's hour, they played you, and 50% of your account is gone by the time you wake up. Now you wake up, you're highly emotional, and now you're trying to figure out, how do I make the other half not only make money, but how do I get back my 50% that I just lost? So see how you go into this cycle of emergency emotions? Simply because you over leverage your account. So now you scrambling. Now well, I'm gonna go to the 1-minute chart. You know you ain't no 1-minute trader. Why is you doing that? Now you picking every trade, and you just, and now you over trading, trying to make back the 50%. Had you not over leveraged, and you would only risk what, 2, 3, 5% of that first trade, God knows you wouldn't have lost so much. Would you? And would you have woken up with such a bad attitude, knowing that you only maybe lost, even out $100, maybe you lost maybe $5 out of the account, you still got 95 left in there? How would you have felt? Could you still have gotten up with a smile and say, oh, okay, that was a trade and moved on? But since $50 of that $100 is gone, your whole emotional state is thrown off. Now you're going back to what I said, talking negatively to yourself. You're over leveraging, you're over trading. Your whole day is ruined because you made that one mistake, and you won't stop making that mistake. Every week you keep doing the same thing. But that was last year, right? We're going to say that was last year's behavior. I grew up from that. This year, I know better now. I listen to Uncle P. I get it. I'm going to fix that. So even if I lose a trade, that was only $5 in my $100 account. Hey, it's just a trade. I move on to the next one. And I've learned to be patient and wait for great opportunities versus everything that I'm seeing on my chart because I'm scrambling trying to make back that money. See how you can fix you? We're just fixing the first two things that you're doing wrong. And notice I ain't even talked about the charts. I'm talking about you. You're the goal that needs to be fixed. You're the problem. And until you fix you, this ain't going to help you. It's going to make you a monster. And some of you guys, truth be told, when I end this video in the next moment, I want you to really be honest and look yourself in the face if you can do it. Go to the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror if you can even do it. And look yourself in the eye and ask yourself the question, have I turned into a monster? You want to be a Forex trader, but some of you guys have turned into Forex monsters. Your attitude is horrible. You're mean to everyone. You're angry. And watch this. When I say mean, it doesn't mean just mean to people you don't know who's in the Forex industry. Everybody's a scam. Everybody this and that. He's a scammer. Your children think you're angry. Your wife thinks you're angry, or your husband thinks you're angry. Your coworkers see that you're angry. And most importantly, you don't like yourself no more. You've turned into a monster. This is why, to be honest with you, either get the proper education or just stop trading for a little while. I'm being honest with you. Two choices. Get proper education so you can. Let me leave you guys with one more. Let me leave you with this. And I mentioned this before, but I'm going to tell you guys this one again. Okay? I will never forget when I bought my first motorcycle. I love that motorcycle. I was a Lakers fan. I still like the Lakers, but I ain't no fan, but I like the Lakers. My first motorcycle I bought was popping. It was custom colored, yellow and purple, matching helmet and everything else. And it was my first motorcycle. And I'll never forget, the guy told me, go to motorcycle school. I didn't go. Notice, and I talked about this in a video before, but hear me again how this applies. I didn't do it. I hopped on my motorcycle and I got to ride, and I kind of figured it out because I drove a YSR 50 years ago when I was younger. So I thought, okay, boom, 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 boom. So I figured out how to gear. So I know how it is. It's just another one. And so, okay. And I was on my way to a place and I came upon some railroad tracks. And I slowed down thinking, okay, I'm going to slow down and cross over these tracks. I slowed down. My front tire got caught in the railroad tracks. And I got thrown across the road. My head bounced off the ground. Thank God I actually had a helmet on, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here today. And at that point, I said, you know, I think I'm going to motorcycle school. Notice it took me losing. It took me being hurt and injured, like some of you guys are now, to realize, you know what, maybe I do need to get me some education. And do you know, when I finally went to motorcycle school, which was only 2 days, do you know what I found out? They covered how to cross. They covered how to cross motorcycle tracks. And you know what they actually told me to do? They said, when you come to motorcycle tracks, you don't slow down, you actually speed up a bit so that your tire quickly bumps over them. Because if you slow down, it gives it too much time for the tire to find the grooves and you actually get stuck in it. And isn't that what happened to me? So I busted up my body, almost busted my head to pieces, because I refuse to invest in education like some of you guys are doing with your Forex career. And now that's why you're so angry and busted up in your head. Because I refused to get instruction. I was being cheap. And it cost me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It cost me. And it's costing you. Fix you first, or just stop. Because I was at a meet or greet point at that point. Either get an education or I need to get off this bike because I'm going to kill myself. Matter of fact, when I bought that motorcycle, I also saw another motorcycle there that I really wanted. And the person who sold me the bike that I did buy, they asked me a question. They said, "Is this your first bike?" I said, "Yes, it is." I said, "But I want to buy that one. That one is a beast." Do you know the dealer was smart enough? I was offering money to this man, but he cared enough about me as a professional salesman to tell me the truth, like I'm doing some of you guys. You want to know what he told me? He said, "Sir, I can't sell you that bike." I said, "Man, but I can afford it. I can pay for it." He didn't care about my money. He cared about my life. He said, "Since this is your first bike, and have you went to motorcycle school?" "No, I ain't went to motorcycle school." "Is this your first bike?" "Yeah, this is my first bike." "No, I can't sell that one to you." Did you hear what I said? He did the same thing I'm doing to you. He found out where I was to figure out, can I handle what I wanted? And he realized this is a young fool. So he said, "Hey, you can stick with this bike." And that's how I ended up with that first bike. That wasn't my original choice. The other one was, but he wasn't going to sell it to me because he knew I wasn't what? Ready for it. I wasn't educated. I was excited, but not educated. And that's some of you guys. You came into this industry excited, but you weren't educated. And now you're a monster to yourself and others. So you don't give you two choices to. Either pay for the education, either with us or with somebody else. That's up to you, your choice. I can't tell you who to choose and this and that. Find somebody you're comfortable with, but pay for the education and get taught proper. And then you'll see where you're making silly mistakes. And you can easily correct these silly mistakes you're making, and you'll see your career jump off the charts. But if you're not willing to do that, then I'm going to tell you, just like that motorcycle dealer told me, just stop. I'm not going to go further with you. He said, start with this motorcycle, which has less power. It's less power, but you can handle it. You'll if you bust your butt, at least you ain't going to be dead. You'll be semi-dead, but you ain't going to be dead. You get on this one, you're going to be dead. And here's the funny thing about it. Look how God turned things around. I had that bike, and I actually fell in love with that bike deeply. My Lakers bike, the one he said, "No, I'm going to sell you this one, not that one." Somebody came, and that was when I was living in a particular area. I was still living in the hood, at that time. During the midnight hour, somebody came and stole my motorcycle. Boy, I scoured the neighborhoods. Oh, I was so angry. And nope, it never came back. Filed police report, never came back. Do you know a loved one on Father's Day bought me? Did you hear what he bought me? The original motorcycle that I wanted in the first place. They bought me that motorcycle, and I never had an accident on it. Why? Because by the time I actually got that motorcycle, the one I originally wanted, I had already been to motorcycle school, and I had proven that I knew what I was doing on the motorcycle. And I ended up with that motorcycle, the one I originally wanted, that they wouldn't sell to me at first. Why? Because now I can handle it. Then I was just excited. But now I had education and excitement, and they sold it to me. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right, you guys. I hope this video, please type a number 10 in the box if you think this video was a little bit helpful for you, if it kind of helped you. I just want to make sure I'm giving you good teaching. There's plenty of people out there always talking about charts, and I'm going to do some more videos like I always do during the week where you can see, what the charts look like, my setups and this and that. I'm going to still do that, but I'm not just about trying to show you charts all the time. I care enough about you and your family to kind of tell you some things that you really need to know about what it is really like to be a Forex trader and what the journey looks like when you don't do things correct. I'm just trying to be transparent and help you out. Now, if you want to join us during class, I love my classes. Enjoy them. And by the way, thank you for all the condolences and the love from my students. I apologize. I did the class on Tuesday, couldn't do it on Wednesday because, we're trying to handle that. But I will be back on this Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm fired up and ready to go. Okay. And if because I got to fly out of town for the funeral. So if anything pops up like that, I'll tell you guys ahead of time so that you're aware why I can't do the class. But if that's not arranged because the family is handling that and that over in that part of the country, they're handling that and they're going to let us know what day, and then we'll. But I'll let you guys know. If it's not during that time, I will be fired up and ready to go so I can be teaching. You guys know that's one of my favorite things to do. Those who students in here. Okay. All right. So have a great Happy New Year Sunday, first day of the week. Please just take heed to what I'm telling you guys and work on this, and you'll have a completely different outcome this year. I guarantee it. If you work on these 6 things that I taught you today, I guarantee that you're going to have a totally different outcome from any other past year you've ever had in trading. And that doesn't mean just Forex. That means in Forex. That means in any business endeavor you're into, whether you're trying to start a restaurant, whether you're trying to start a daycare, hair salon, I don't care what it is. Just take heed to what I taught today, and you're going to see that you're going to have a much better career. And more importantly, you're going to have a much better relationship with yourself because you heeded what I told you. Okay? All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for joining. Bye.